This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Clueless A Trading Frank. It's 8:44 p.m. on November 14th, 2019. This is a Clueless A Trading midweek, delayed by a day. Normally we do it on Wednesdays. Strategic market and stock update webinar, which have been very precise, to say the least. Please review all my, well, at least some of my old video casts, and you'll see how exactly correct we have been on in between good, bad, and fugly markets, how right we have been on the directional bias on the market overall. On that note, full disclosure, this is purely for financial education, not for any solicitation or advice. We shall begin. The session will be uploaded to the Google YouTube channel on, and anyone with the internet connection, and all free trial members, anybody out there can listen to it at their own time. Most importantly, we have a fantastic Instagram channel, which some of you do follow, many of you don't. I highly suggest that you do. Why? Because the highlights are some of our biggest trades. It is a promotional channel for marketing purposes, full disclosure, that the highlights of some of our biggest option trades are displayed on the Clueless A Trading Instagram channel in the form of options charts, which I do not have time during the day when I'm helping you all navigate the market and make money to put out there. So people who are not following the Instagram channel, not hitting the likes, are doing themselves a disfavor, not me. It's simple, because those option charts that I put out there, actual real trades that we have done, and you see it in the form of a fantastic options chart, is invaluable. So please visit Clueless A Trading Instagram. If you do not have Instagram channel, doesn't matter. Create one. Just follow Clueless A Trading, Clueless A underscore trading Instagram. So you get to see money that you have made, hopefully on some of the trades that we have done, in the form of options charts. We have a Facebook, LinkedIn, and Pinterest channel, but I don't populate them that much. Most important is the real-time Twitter feed. What is this? Mars, Venus? Or are you guys making money? All right. This is what's happening after hours. Futures are up 11 points. Exactly what I said. We're going to break out of the ascending triangle. Anyway, so please follow Instagram, Google, YouTube. Very important, because that's what I don't like writing long-winded, fancy worded blogs, even though my command of the English language is rather supreme overall. But I'm not in the business of writing. I'm in the business of visually presenting to you what will happen, what is happening, and what I think is going to happen. That's it. Remember, Clueless A Trading is about non-froth, non-emotional, non-BS, straightforward talk. And everything that I say or do is on print, in social media, on Twitter real-time feed, and on Google YouTube, as in the forecast. So I can walk away from them. I don't go around deleting tweets because it didn't work out. All right. So we have Dominic, we have Mike, and we have Sanat. Sanat, do me a favor. Change your handle at some point to a smaller thing, Mr. Seti. So, you know, so it's easier to deal with. Anyway, I'm going to call you Seti. It's easier. You sound like a Star Wars guy. Okay, you're a Star Wars guy. Seti. You know what SETI is? Search for extraterrestrial intelligence. That's what SETI is. That is a NASA program that was devised in 1960s, and believe me, they have contacted aliens. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about real aliens. Okay, and they're not talking about illegal aliens coming across the border. They're talking about aliens out there who are much smarter than us and probably are trading the same charts that I produce. It's called SETI, S-E-T-I. Some of you might know that. I know Mike probably knows that. Right, Mike? You knew SETI, the SETI program? search for extraterrestrial intelligence?
The only thing I do is listen to that crazy radio show that they play after midnight when I can't sleep.
What, the Martian aliens play it, or some wild guy from the south? Which one?
Some wild ass guy from the West Coast,
Okay, I
whatever it
like that.
is, Art
Okay.
Bell and his followers.
Oh, okay, that's great. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh, that's great. So yeah, so all of you, just the biggest thing that you have to learn tonight is there is a program that was started in 1960s by the DoD, Department of Defense, and this is serious. This is all related to trading, by the way. Okay, all kidding aside, it's called SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. They're looking for ET, and they're in contact. Believe me, they're in contact with somebody out there. Okay, Paul has arrived from a distant land, an alien land called Canada. So we shall begin. So guys, let's begin. I'll try to keep this short because I am tired. So what's going on here? Is this an alien? Is this a little like moon rocket? What do you think is going on? Well, futures are up about 11 points, and that's exactly what's going on. So let's try to connect this. So here is how we connect. Beautiful. Did I tell you guys to keep on buying the SPY calls? Do I have to beat my chest on it? I don't need to beat my chest on anything. Are you guys feeling good if you are fully vested on buying a bunch of SPY calls, probably on your own, some SPX calls, whatever the case, or being long overall in the market? Well, if you're not, you're like, right? That's what retail emotional traders do. They're like, oh, there's a next time. There is never a next time. There is always now, and that's it. Nobody's saying go gangbusters and put all your money in there. I've never said that. I always said put a lot of cash on the side, but always be long the bull market for now. When I see the real directional change in the bull market, I will be the first one to tell you. And it doesn't happen in 1-2 days or a couple of weeks. It takes about a month or 2 months for the market to overall turn and give you a directional bias saying, okay, the bull market is over. Well, the bull market ain't over. So when you look at this, and I want to highlight this because this is so important to all of our well-beings, financial well-beings, is these little bubbles here were basically the inverse head and shoulders, right? So here was your head, here was your left shoulder, here was your big left shoulder, another inverse head and shoulder, and this was your retest of your right shoulder, big hammer reversal. Gotta fall in love with candles. I'm not the ones you buy from Bed Bath and Beyond and Walmart and or on Amazon from some fancy store where you light there and you sit there and you feel good about yourself. All right. I'm talking about candles that we trade. Candlestick dynamics are so critical. I live and breathe candles. These candles, not the fragrance kind, guys. All right. You think I'm kidding? When I wake up in the morning, futures are down 10. I look at my charts and I look at the candles. I can pretty much tell whether we're going to have an awful day or whether we're going to make a crap load of money on reversals. All because the charts are there. And I know many of you do that too, or starting to learn how to do that. So there we are. So this was a W formation, and in lots of complex zigzags, what we called a volatility cluster within a range. I kept on talking about showing you guys that all day long. Don't forget, it takes a lot of my energy to guide people through volatile markets through the day. I know you guys realize that. I'm not looking for thank yous, but I'm just telling you guys because I would love to basically, put out 5 charts during the day, 5 recommendations during the day, suggestions during the day, and just trade my own book like a wild maniac. like I do, but I can. When things go wild, like, oh, here's a little flash crash, I have to be on the ball, putting out those charts, structuring it, snapshotting it, putting it out there for you guys. So do respect that hard work. That's the only thing I want. I just want a little respect for the hard work. I'm not freaking like Einstein, but I'm smart about the markets, guys, okay? And if you guys don't know how to manage your trades, I'll tell you one thing. It takes time. It takes time. I can teach you driving, but I put you out there in a very high performance car with 600 horsepower in the middle of a rainy, beautiful road in Wisconsin or in Montana or in Upper Maine or even in Connecticut or in Vermont. You're going to crash, but you have to learn how to drive. So that I will teach you how to drive, but to learn how to drive, as in managing your trades, that's something you got to learn from your own thing. And you know what's that part of the learning? That part of the learning is taking losses. Not crazy losses, but minimal losses. So you learn. You cannot be a great trader or a consistent professional trader or a professional part-time trader by not losing money. If you won every time, you would lose so big, you would not have money within 3 months. Listen to what I say. I know. I'm 50 plus years old, as many of you know. Yes, I'm absolutely unbelievably good looking. Just kidding, all right? But I have more energy, and because I've gone through it all. In years past, I've lost more money than many of you had made over years. And I made back a lot more. And you have heard me say that. That's the reason why I'm here. This is America. So what I'm trying to say is, if you squeal out because you're losing 300 bucks because of a trade, you will never make that 3,000. Never. You have to know how to deal with losses. A diamond, which is the most expensive mineral on earth, right? Well, not really, but diamonds, at least cosmetically, is formed through millions of years of carbonite pressure from Earth. So you have to deal with pressure. If you want to be a wuss and freak out and be a loser, quit my service, quit trading, quit my service. I don't care. That's your loss, not mine. Okay? Then you'll never be a great trader. I'm just saying this because I want to help you guys. What you're great at in your own life, in your business or in your school or in your career means nothing when it comes to the world of trading. Trading is such a mental FCUK game that it will teach you how to be so strong that everything else you do in your life, you are going to be successful in. Trading will play with your mind like nobody has. Listen to what I say, guys, all right? I can show you technicals and I've shown you great trades. Have you taken most of it? Maybe, maybe not. People make excuses. I make excuses. I don't have enough money. I can do this. It doesn't take the money. The money is not the issue. Okay? You can take $100 and turn it into 400, which you can take 200 and turn it into 600. How many lotto trades have I given that have gone from 4 cents to 20 cents? Quite a few. Not to mention General Electric, not to mention GameStop, not to mention AT&T, not to mention Bank of America. They're all significant lotto trades. It is not the money. It is your, how do I draw a brain? I can. So I'm going to draw your face and say it is your face. It is your brain. Now, most of you in general as traders won't make it. I'll say it. They won't make it. And the few of you, hopefully with all the tools that I'm giving you and with your own effort, will be hugely successful. It'll take some time. It won't take years. It'll just take months. Because if you are making even a little bit of money in this type of volatile, upwardly swinging market, even though the markets are making new highs every week, lots of volatility, right? We know that. Then you're going to be fine. That's all. So if I was Tony Robbins, you'd be paying me $1,000 to sit on this webinar to listen to these words of wisdom, what we call wow. Wow isn't when you see somebody or a beautiful object or a beautiful scenery and say wow. Wow is called words of wisdom. I'm giving it to you. I've lived through it. So all I have to say is wake up, kids. Time to hashtag time to grow up. Okay, that's it. So what's going on here? We have a lot of good stuff. Markets are going higher. Is it going to go endlessly higher? Of course not. Most we are expecting the market to go to, which I've said about how many times now? At least like 30 times. Is 3120. 3120. On the E-minis, that translates into about 3125, 3130 on the S&P 500. Listen to my previous videos. If you can understand how to trade the dynamics of Roku, of Netflix, of Apple, of TTD, of Beyond, of Nvidia, which is slightly down after hours, big deal, buy the crap out of this stock. MPC, and all these other stocks, just trade the SPY, the SPYs, or the Qs. This is the cleanest way of trading the market without individual stock risk. IWM, which I haven't traded actually in a bit. You can always trade the DIA. That's a Dow Jones Industrial Average Diamonds, my friend. So these are the purest forms of trading the overall market. Pure and simple. Individual stocks, they take some skill. Netflix never goes up in a straight line up when it goes up like 30 bucks. Tesla doesn't go up 40 bucks in a straight line, even though we catch a lot of those big moves, which some of you have. Congratulations. But you have to be quick. You have to watch the charts. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, this is the max that I'm looking at, because this is a broad, which I have told you guys, Dominic and all these people know. Mr. Seti knows too, and Paul knows, of course, is the bull flag consolidation channels. Ladies and gentlemen, markets are no longer random. In the old days, Robert Malkiel, yeah, he wrote a book called The Random Walk Through Wall Street back in the 1960s. You guys know the name of the book, right?
I don't know.
Mike, you probably heard the name, The Random Walk Through Wall Street. It was one of the Bibles of trading. Paul, you must have heard of it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I remember the book.
Yeah, Malkiel, Malkil. I mean, it's a legendary book. You know, it's I read a part of my training on Wall Street. It was all about like how stocks work and stuff. But that was the old days. With all due respect to my grandparents who have passed away, to my parents who passed away many years ago, this ain't grandpa's market. This is not random a walk anymore. This is the algorithmic walk. This is what we call the algo walk. You're no longer dating a real person. You're dating a robot. What was that movie where the guy dated a inflatable robot? It was a very funny movie. What was it called? Some of you should know that. From the 90s.
Just can't make noise.
What?
There was that movie, Her.
What? There was a movie called what? Her?
Her, but I don't think it was 90s.
No, okay. Who's that? Your daughter? Who's the voice
Oh,
I'm hearing in the
that's
back?
that's my son.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Yeah.
what's his name?
Ace.
Ace?
Yeah.
Ace, how are you?
1
My
sec, I'll
son-
put the headphones. You can talk to him on this one.
How old is Ace?
5.
Hey, Ace, how are you? You're the best. Ace, do you like these nice little Lego pictures?
We're sharing the headphones. What was that, Frank?
No, ask Ace if he likes these nice little pictures.
What kind of pictures?
I said, show Ace the screen and tell him if he
Oh,
likes
yeah.
this little picture.
Do you like this picture? He's trying to digest it.
I love it. He's going to be a great trader. How old is he?
5.
Oh, my son just turned 21. He's 16 years over you. God bless you,
Yep.
man. I love it. I love it. I used
Thanks.
to have a trader. He's still a great member, Tom Gans. His daughter, since she was 2, and I think she's like 8 or something now. She used to sit there listening because I love those things. I bet you they'd be better traders than us, you know. So, hey, thanks for bringing your son in. Love that.
Thanks.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So basically, guys, this is not a random walk, okay? It's a straightforward walk. And by the way, all of you who don't have kids yet, please have one. That's the joy of having a son. And God bless you, Paul. All right, I'm a big evangelist for people to have kids. That's it. You know, stop making plans. Just have one. That's the way economies grow, okay? Economies and nations die because there's no other young blood. You can't be screaming about immigration and this and that when we are all dying. Gotta have our own kids. Thank you. Make your kids great again. All right. So this is what I'm looking at, Max. It's 3120. You know, can it overshoot? Sure, it can. But I'm just saying from a tactical standpoint. So we're all good. So this is the algorithmic high frequency trading charts. These charts are, it's not a random walk anymore on Wall Street. And this is where we're going. So SPY traders, this is what you guys should be looking at. The SPY, and I told you guys to buy the SPY 309s. Play them week by week. Okay? Not like 3 weeks out. We have no idea what's going to happen 3 weeks out. Yes, I can put some, sort of probabilities down, but play week by week. So play the Wednesdays, the Fridays, and the Wednesdays and the Fridays. Okay, the SPY trades. Okay, next. Next is popular. Okay, so this is your intraday type of chart. It's a 15-minute chart, lots of zigzags. It's for people to really control their very short-term trading. Remember, we have day traders, we have swing traders, and we have a combination of both, which I am. So in between, we're watching these back and forth, back and forth. Market's down 60. Oh my God, like world's falling apart, blah, blah, blah. Market's up 20. Oh, everything's going higher. No, this is what's going on. So this same chart, if you put it in perspective, is the Fibonacci chart. The blue line is the 50 Fib. And this is what it looks like. There you go. Each of these lines are your, your basically downtrend lines of bull flag consolidation, all that stuff. And anyone who is serious about understanding the technical patterns, like I always say, spend a couple of bucks, not going to break your bank, sign up for the advanced coaching sessions, which I do on weekends and sometimes on weekdays, and learn it, make some money on it. So that's it. Now, let's move up further on the curve. Now, this is what excites me. This is more of the swing picture. Look, guys, all right? This is not a service which is about, oh, I am so great. This is not a service about narcissism. This is a service about helping other people, but pointing out that we have been correct in pinpointing almost every single swing move, not every 15-minute move, not every 1 day move, but every swing trading move, 3 days, 7 days, 1 week, 10 days type of move in the market. Clueless trading takes full credit for that. Somebody says, show me your performance. I'm never going to show you my P&L because it might just shock you so much you might just fall over and die. I mean, sorry, you won't die. I don't want you to die. Then I'll lose your membership. I'm just kidding. You might be like, holy crap. Or you may be like, oh, he's nothing. I don't know where you're coming from. My performance is based on what I put out on my real-time Twitter feed, what I talk about on these webinars, and what I show on my charts. And all the percentage ROIs that I put on my real-time Twitter feed, which you completely have availability to if you sign up as a member. That's my performance. You're never going to see my P&L, but you will know it's pretty damn good because I don't buckle.
Hey, just to say, Frank, I had my biggest winners this week.
Awesome, man. And you're going to have much more because one thing I like about you, Dominic, is you entered, and I just want to point this something out to you. Dominic was not in the market for many years, correct? So
Long time.
without putting any background, so I've known Dominic for a while, but without putting personal details or anything down, Dominic said, you know what, he was always asking me about the market and stuff. Listen, join the service and see what it can. He has been more passionate about learning, and a lot of the comments he puts out there on the webinars and the questions he asks me directly, which anyone can, on the direct message on Twitter, which is the fastest way to ask me a question. Don't text me if you have the direct number and stuff on my phones because a lot of people do it and I can't answer on that. Just DM me on Twitter or leave a question on the chat room, which I always check, and I'll answer. So your passion and understanding, and and Dominic, let me ask you a direct question as we are going through this. This is a very swing chart, as you know. This is your 1 second here. So the question I want to ask you, like before you joined the service, and again, this is not like some propped up rigged, like Ukrainian game or Obama like playing some game or whatever, or Trump like Donald like playing game with us. Just asking a direct question. Before this, did you have any sort of conviction idea about technical analysis or whatever before you started to learn about it?
Right? Not in the least.
You obviously knew about the markets, which
I knew about markets. That's about it.
Which was always about prices, right?
Never technicals, man. Never
technicals, but mostly prices. Like, hey, price is going higher, it might go higher. Price is going lower, it might go lower, right?
Yep, that's it.
Exactly. So now that we are presenting it in the form of this chart, it is, and be honest, which will help everybody, it is a learning experience. It's not easy, it's not that hard, but it's a different way of looking at the market, correct?
No, to be totally honest, when I see your roadmaps during the day, I swear to God, the flash crashes mean nothing to me anymore. It's so funny.
And you have, without naming your business, like you have a very busy business, you're out on the road, all this stuff, but you're checking it on your devices. But at least when I'm putting the roadmaps out there and stuff, you're not like, holy shit, the market's down like 120 points, like the whole world's falling apart. But then I'm showing like, okay, it might fall here, it might rise here. Hopefully it keeps you from not doing any really foolish stuff, which we all do, correct?
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, I know. We're all hostage of our emotions. Some of us, some of you guys are really hostage of your emotions, and some of us are less hostage of our emotions. So this is a swing chart, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your comments, Dominic and Paul. You just joined us recently. Overall, what's your, and I'm just asking, what's your overall, I mean, you followed me on StockTwits here and there, but you never really saw the real thing. What's a few words, like how would you say it? And if you can just hold your
Yeah,
thought for 1 second, sir. 1 second.
sure.
1 second. You guys there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so just finish your thought, like just overall little feedback for everyone to hear.
Yeah, my strategy might be different than each of everybody else's strategy, but I'm more of a long-term investor, investing in leaps.
I know. I'm just
And
talking about like
yeah,
your overall. Yeah.
yeah. But what's really helped me, Frank, is like your webinars here, where we see the overall direction of the market. I've held on to some call options longer than I might have before, and I've got a lot
Okay.
of extra profits for that because, like Dominic was saying, it's not as scary when you have a roadmap in front of you.
That's a very straightforward answer. That's what I try to do. The roadmaps that I'm putting out there, you can trade any stock within these roadmaps or the overall SPY in the overall market without really panicking all the time. And yeah, that's great. That's great because everybody has to find their own style. Seti, you there? Seti,
Yeah,
can you hear us? Yeah.
yeah,
So remember one thing, you're new in the trading game, right?
yes,
Yes. So remember, you have to find your own style. It's like cricket. All right, you're
yeah,
from India, so you're cricket. So everyone has to find their own style. You know how the bowl and how they hit. Cricket is just like baseball. It's the same thing, just different ways of doing it. It's a ball, it's a stick, you hit it. So you have to find your own style. In due time, you will. But in the meantime, don't worry about it. Just take a couple of small trades, and especially the fast-moving ones. But you have to be quick in taking the profits. So I appreciate you guys like mentioning that. But that's the way it is. So looking at this chart here, unless something really goes wrong with the U.S.-China trade deal, we are going to overall go to 3140 and possibly a little bit higher. I'm sorry, that was a wrong thing right here. Probably 3150. That's a good enough for 3150. So so it's a good enough for about 300 to 400 points, which I explained in the last webinar, because that's what it looks like from this chart. In the meantime, what I keep on talking about as I put on my thing, just so you all understand, I'm sure you guys do, is we have big support levels, 3072, 3063, and as long as those support levels don't break, it doesn't matter if the market does this. Yes, it won't feel good when we're in a Boeing and Boeing's down like $4. Boeing, by the way, in my opinion, going to $410. We're going to look at Boeing chart tonight. It will. 737 Maxes are coming into play sometime in December, January. Regardless of all the fake news, all the attacks, Boeing is almost as hated as Tesla was when Tesla was at $200. Where is Tesla right now? 350 and going higher to new highs. It will. The market is a vicious animal. They either hate you or they love you.
Tesla just got some real favorable reviews in Consumer Report.
Yes, this
And
afternoon they did. Yes.
and that's kind of what started the car being popular with everybody.
What started the real thing for us traders was the S&P 500. The S&P basically upgrading their credit from something like a B to A or something. And I said, that's it. That means they are open for business to raise money, capital as needed. Shanghai plant opened in Beijing. In Shanghai. Model 3 is selling better than BMW electric cars, which by the way are garbage. We know BMWs. Okay? So I'm not in love with Tesla. I've driven Teslas. I hate driving Teslas. I don't care about the car, but they're selling more. S&P credit rating went up. Their credit outlook went up. Then, as you said, Consumer Reports said, hey, Tesla Model 3 is like now one of the most favorite cars after they dropped them 2 years ago. And the charts look good. So yes, S&P 500 overall, this is your, one of your, the dotted line is one of your rising wedges, breaks up, this is where we're going to go. So another 200 to 400 points, we need to really check ourselves. I'm always checking myself. Like, I'm not saying like, oh my God, the market's going nuts. All right, let's move on. Let's move on quick. People want to see stocks, not just markets. This is your overall bigger picture of the market. We haven't even reached the top of the, we haven't even reached the, oh, we did. Oh my God, right tonight. Talk about precision. You have a very large W, dragon bullish, bull flag consolidation that lasted for about 3 weeks, a breakout, another bull flag consolidation that we're going through. Remember, technicals work only if you have the patience, the discipline to work through it. A stock goes up 4 points, like an Amgen, goes up 6 points, drops 3 points. It's still going higher as long as the charts are producing. So you have a very large, starting in last October, this past October, W formation, bull flag consolidation channel, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, driving everyone nuts. A breakout, a sideways move for about 3 days, big move up, over 3,000. Well, over 3,000 happened here. S&P that everyone's like, oh no, it's not going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. Trust me, I know my ex-colleagues from Wall Street. I know how they think. I know how they drink. And I know how stupid most of them are. They're all herd mentality. You want to be not the black sheep. You want to be the lion. Think outside the box. Not that easy, but if you really delve into a lot of the things that I say, and I have the luxury of being an outsider who was an insider, no longer in the swamp of Wall Street, even though I love Wall Street, but outside, telling you how the story works. So learn it on your own as quickly as possible, and it's going to make you money. A lot of the things that I talk about won't make sense to you. Or a lot of things that I'm proposing, you'll be like, why is he doing that? Why is he buying that stock, this and that? And then you look back at it 5 days, 10 days from there, you're like, holy cow, he was right. Remember, I'm not in the complimentary business. I'm in the business of making money for myself, my family, and for you guys. I don't care about whether you guys make money or not because you're not paying my bills. Just the way, you don't care if I lose money. But you want me to be right all the time. I'm going to be right most of the time. It is up to you to figure out how you can be right most of the time with me. Okay? Seriously. That's my service, Clueless Aid Trading. Not some other garbage service out there who keeps on giving you small trades and saying they're the greatest. So this is a bull flag, and we are about to break out.
Hey Frank, I have a question.
Of course, Sadiq.
Yeah, so when do we say that is a breakout, and how can we find ahead of the breakouts? Like,
What kind of question are you asking? I keep on posting before a breakout's going to happen, that things are going to happen. You have to just focus on the chart. That's a very good question, but it doesn't make any sense. You're asking me, when do you think the breakout's going to happen? What do you think the market's going to do? Let me finish.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying, my friend, okay? So the market going to raise a green flag and say, hello, I'm going to break out? No. The market's going to show you in the form of the charts. So if you're looking at the charts and I'm telling you through all the different technical, which by the way, you have to really focus on. So the answer to your question is this. You have to learn how the technical game works. So when I show the charts, you can get most of the messaging that's coming out of it. Now your question should be, well, how do I do that? Well, first step is you have to review a whole bunch of my videos on Google, YouTube, not these webinars, the new member introductory videos. That's number one. Number two, you sign up for the advanced coaching sessions, cost like nothing, cost less than you'd pay your babysitter to watch your baby if you have one, or going to, when you do dry cleaning. Do you ever dry clean your clothes?
Yeah.
No, seriously, I'm asking you a question, Sadi, so answer.
Yes.
Okay, so when you take a nice suit or a pant for the dry cleaners, how much does it cost you?
Oh, $50.
$3 or $5, right?
Yeah, it depends. Yeah.
Exactly. It costs $2. It costs less than $3 a day to be included as a trading where you can make $3,000. The thing that I wanted to make the point on is that I don't overprice my service. Your problem is you're a very smart guy. I know it. Okay? Why? I'm not your mother who always said you were smart and you maybe not that smart in trading, but I think you are. Like I've talked to you. You need to
Yeah.
understand the technicals. So your question about when do you know the breakouts and stuff, I'm putting it down straightforward, screaming that as a breakout is imminent on the real-time Twitter feed. But if you understand most of these type of patterns that's happening, that's how you know when the breakout's coming.
Yeah,
That's
that is
it.
what my question. Yeah.
That is right. But first you have to accept the fact that you have to understand the technicals. So when I'm putting those charts out, like I'm going to show you a chart today, which you might have looked at or might not, which I kept on saying. Oh, I know many of you did. Okay.
Going.
1 second. I put lots of great charts out. Okay. If you need to sign up for the advanced coaching sessions, for that, for those few bucks on that, you will transform the way you trade. Other than that, of course, you can learn on your own. Remember, the coaching sessions don't make me rich. What makes me rich is my trades, Roku going up $40 in 2 weeks, or Tesla going up like $16 in 3 days, or Netflix that is about to go up about $20, and all that stuff. So when I'm showing these type of charts, all the way from here, all the way from here, ascending triangle, what is this telling you? It's telling you, wake up, smell the coffee, and buy the frigging market. And then you mix it in with my videos where I'm explaining all the economic factors. When I am supportive of the great business policies that President Trump has put across, when I'm criticizing some of the things that I don't like, and you put that together as a smart adult living in America, you're like, okay, I get it. These are the kind of charts that you want to look at. Yes, Mike, a very expensive gift from Tiffany's is coming your way. I love your comment, Mike. Sorry, I was reading a comment from my good friend Mike Harrington. So when you're looking at these type of charts, you're like, you know what? I don't care if I'm a day trader. I know what's going on. And this is exactly what's going on. This was the first ascending triangle. This is what we broke out of. It does not matter all the garbage that we hear outside. The charts are telling us we want to go higher. Now, will we keep on going higher forever? Of course not. We have a couple of down days, 1-2 days down, but we are going to go somewhere around 312 on the SPY. So even tomorrow, in my opinion, of course, market conditions given, and that's why I keep on doing the real-time Twitter feed. If you buy the 312 calls for the end of November, and the SPY closed at 309.55, you're going to make some serious money. So in answer to your question, which is a good question, Seti, you need to really get into technicals, and it takes a little bit of time. But the way we do it here is there is enough resources on the new member introductory videos on Google YouTube. Then you sign up for the advanced coaching sessions, 5 sessions. That's all you need. And if you really want to learn more, of course, you continue. And then you move forward. You cannot be a deep sea diver in the North Sea off the coast of England. Okay? Without training, because you'll die in the first 2 minutes. That's trading. In the meantime, just buy my alerts and just trade them. Who cares? Do you understand? Did I answer your question?
Yes, you answered it.
No. It's not going to make a lot of sense. What's going to make sense to you is when you make some real money. Now, the only reason you don't make real money, like most people, is because you don't hold the trades till it goes all the way to the point. Yes or no? Tell me the truth.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
the mistake I'm doing.
Let me finish. Is that something wrong? No. That's just normal. When I'm saying buy something, it just jumps up. And then it jumps up a little bit more, and then it pulls back a little bit. You're like, oh my God, I'm selling it. And then either you sell too early, or if it pulls back, you panic and you sell too fast. That is the biggest problem 99.9% of retail emotional traders have. And there's nothing wrong with it. I've gone through it, but I'm no longer like that. That's why I sound like this. I'm a robot when I trade, but it took some time, but I learned on my own. Of course, I had my Wall Street background, but Wall Street doesn't teach you how to trade. Most Wall Street analysts are the worst traders in the world. Every guy that you see on CNBC is the worst trader in the world. You guys know that. But what I'm saying is, in order to control your emotions, you have to understand the charts. Chart discipline is really hard discipline. But once you get it, you're going to love it. That's all. It's like all of a sudden you go to the gym, all of a sudden you do the keto diet, all of a sudden you're doing now, and you're seeing your muscles coming out, you're seeing your body change. You're like, oh my God, you actually look good. Well, make your profit and loss statement, your P&L, look good, so that your other half, whether it's your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, in this day and age, says, oh wow, you're doing good, and you're like, yeah, I'm doing good. That's what you got to do. But you got to learn. In order to learn, you have to spend a little bit of money. You need to spend a little bit of time, and you need to really focus. All right, this is the chart of the NASDAQ. Now, what is the NASDAQ all about? The NASDAQ's about biotechs, most importantly about technology. About techs, the NASDAQ 100. Every single line will be engaged. Every single line has been engaged. Told you, support. Now you could trade to trade the NDX futures. You can trade the NDX futures, of course, futures traders, or you can trade the QQQ, the Qs. So major supports, nice complex W formation, heading towards this level, and maximum bullish over 83.40. That means a bunch of low-hanging fruit on the technology side is going to go nuts. NVIDIA, after pulling back to a 206, 207, heads to 220. By the way, hit 215 that I thought it was going to hit after hours. NVIDIA is good to go. The more it falls, the more you buy. Okay? NVIDIA, the more it falls, the more you buy. Buy time and click. That company is a monster. One of the few tech companies that's not making new highs. So what's next? What's next here on my thing? Nothing. So let's here's a chart of which I showed you guys on the daily. First thing when you look at, without really overanalyzing it, looks good. It's a bull flag. President Trump is not going to let this market crash before Thanksgiving. Yes, there's going to be pullbacks here and there. He's not going to let this market crash, period. It's called the Trump put. In other words, he's there. That's a bull flag. Do you guys get this or no?
Yes.
This is a daily chart. It's not like something we have to keep on changing our diapers like in the middle of the day. This is a daily chart. Seti, do you get it?
Yes.
Do you see this upward channel? This is the big move that 99% of people did not buy. And now we are in this. This is what a bull flag looks like. It's called Frank. Okay? It's a bull flag looks like that. A bull flag can look like this, consolidation, where everyone freaks out. A bull flag can look like this, which is like, whoa. A bull flag can look like this as a sideways consolidation, which I've shown on multiple charts. If you don't focus on the charts, you will never really make money in the market. You'll make some money on my trades, you will give it all back. That I can guarantee you. What I can guarantee you also, that if you focus on learning how these charts work, you have a much higher probability of making what we call in New York shitloads of money. That's all. So that's a bull flag. Look, let me clean this up. It's a flag. It's a rising wedge, which keeps on going higher. So what's the higher point? Again, 31.27. How much is that from here? Roughly about, let's see, 4, 27, 31, roughly another 200 points or so. And if it really gets to the top, another 400 points on the Dow. Now, do you want to wait around while the market's great? Let me ask you guys a question. How many times have you guys made money by chasing prices when the markets are up and buying on a day that the markets open up 500 points? And say the truth. Seti, you tell me, because you have been always chasing prices. I know that.
Yeah,
When was
not
the last time you just, oh my God, the market's doing really great, you bought? And tell me the truth. Like, how many times have you made money by chasing just the price or the movement in the market without looking at charts? I'm sure you have, but I'm just
yeah,
asking.
very few times.
Right, because by the
But
time it really goes nuts, it's too late. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just the way it works. All right, let me show you guys something here. Let's get to stocks. Enough of this crap. Tesla's daily chart is really like, Tesla's weekly chart is sick. It's sick. I told you guys to buy Tesla before it was breaking out. Why did I tell you? Because we were long before the earnings. The stock went from 246, it's at 360. Whoa. All the idiots from here to Timbuktu, like, oh, Tesla, yeah, they can make money. They're making money. I'm not here to defend Tesla. I don't even like Teslas. I really don't. The few cars that we have, they're all gasoline powered like monsters, okay? I love octane premium gasoline, all right? I don't like electric cars, but that's nothing to do with the stock, okay? Tesla's going to 380. Done. It's going to 380. And most probably it's going to go to 400. This chart was drawn when, many of you remember, when I said this is called a macro falling wedge. Now, Seti, this is not a test. You're a grown man. You're a very smart Indian guy, which is one of the smartest countries in the world, if you ask me. When I say a falling wedge, what does it mean to you? And if it doesn't mean anything to you, just say, yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me.
I don't know about it. So
Okay, fine. So if remember one thing, when you see on the weekly chart, when I put out this is a falling wedge, you want to buy with hands down. There is a major falling wedge going on with a biotech stock right now. A couple of biotech stocks. One is ABMD. When you see, that's why I'm saying you have to refresh yourself in technicals. I know you're like, just like all of us. I'm very lazy. I'm very smart when it comes, technical patterns and charts that kind of come naturally to me. Otherwise, I'm lazy. I am, just like everybody out there. We're all lazy. So make the laziness work for you, because I'm teaching you how to be less lazy and not like go into a hardcore CrossFit training camp. So if you don't know what a macro falling wedge is, you better start getting into it. Review my Google videos on my new member introductory videos, and then sign up for the sessions. All right? Because that's when you know you're going to make the real money. Yeah, you could be long and the stock worked out for you, but then what happens to the rest of it? Do you understand what I'm saying, my friend?
yes,
Yeah, I'm giving you what we call wow. You know what that means, right? The ultimate technical term, words of wisdom, which will hopefully make you a lot of dollars. I have a lot of Indian friends, I know. And you know what most of them are? The crappiest traders in the world, and they work on Wall Street and this and all these other places, consultants. They're making good money, but when it comes to investing, they make zero. Actually, what makes zero? They lost money every single time. You know why? Because their brains are too freaking smart to understand the dynamics of trading. I don't want you, SETI, to be one of them. All right? So that's the way it goes. I could teach your Prime Minister Modi how to trade. How about that? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I could. So a macro falling wedge, you don't bust around. I told you guys that the macro falling wedge was going to happen around here, and look what the hell the stock is. And it's going to go here, 380 and to 400. One way or the other, it's getting there. Now, let me show you another stock that nobody talks about. Nobody even knows about. Dominic does. It's called ABMD. ABOMED, whatever you call it. Right? Let's look at the daily. Actually, I had the falling wedge on this, but this is a better chart. This is the story of the stock when none of us knew what was going on. The stock went from May, June, March of 2018. I had no idea what this stock was. Remember, I don't look around doing like heavy research on the individual stock. I did all that stuff back on Wall Street. I find something nice technical move, I'll do a little quick background search on the stock. I know how to read balance sheets. I know how to read income statements. I know how to read better than most of you out there. Trust me, I do. And I also I know how to read management, which is called behavioral dynamics, right? It's not how good the numbers look. It's if you know if the management's kind of good, like boom. So anyway, I like this. So the stock went from 100, I wasn't there by the way, to 450. Then it had this big crash, and we bought it around here. Now the stock is about to, and this is what we're focusing on. There is a big gap here, which doesn't show up on the weekly, should show up on the, yes, on the daily. Okay. So I don't care what's happening with like the inside story and Adam Feuerstein, what he's saying about on his biotech big newsletter that he makes like hundreds of thousands of dollars off. I'm just looking at this chart and I'm saying, I like it. I like it. I bought it here, not down here. I bought it around 220. I mean, a little less than 220. This is a bull flag. Did some of you see this chart when I put out there? I'm not going to bother asking you whether you did or not. It's not my concern. This is a cup This is a handle, and it keeps on holding like that for day after day. So what's that telling me? There is institutional accumulation, and smart money is buying it. This is telling me. Now, I could be wrong. There could be one bad, like, whatever comment out of somebody, and stock could fall. I don't care. What I'm going with is the higher probability of what's going to happen. So the calls are cheap, so I keep on buying them. I buy time. As an options traders, you want to buy time with biotech stocks. You don't want to buy like 3 days, 5 days, 1 week, like the SPY or Netflix or this and that. You want to buy a month. You want to buy 2 months, but a month is good enough. What is this pattern, anyone? I told you it's a cup and handle, but what is this pattern? Come on, guys, make it quick. It's a 9:45.
Bull flag.
This is a bull flag. What is this overall pattern?
Cup and handle.
No, this is a cup and handle. Yeah, it's a cup and handle, but what is this pattern?
Inverse head to shoulders.
Thank you very much. It's also known as a Texas bullhorn. Okay? I love Texas bullhorn patterns, guys. I pinpoint the Texas bullhorn patterns and SPY, while the rest of StockTwits and all the other forums and all the other services you followed were saying the market was going to crash. This is what happens. I love Texas bullhorn patterns. I have a Texas bullhorn right on top of my shoulder next to the American flag in the Declaration of Independence Constitution. I'm dead serious. I'm going to put that picture up, all right, on the left-hand corner of my trading floor room. It's an authentic, shrunken bullhorn. Big time. I'm tapping it right now. God bless the USA, man. All right? It's a horn. So when you get that, get freaking excited. Now, why do I get excited? Because I'm a technical guy. I get excited by looking at patterns. You think my wife gets excited looking at my charts? She'd be like, oh, honey, just stop it. I don't want to talk to her about all this stuff. Get excited with actual patterns. Now, what is this pattern? All the way from 360. It is a similar pattern. Do I think it's going to break into the gap? Yes, I do. So I'm playing step by step. Look, I'm grateful for every dollar that I make. And I thank God for it every night that I go to bed. I'm looking for $5, $10 increments and then building up the chart. I'm not a billion-dollar player who's like looking to make $1 billion over a year because I think the market's going to hell in the handbasket, like most of Wall Street and most of StockTwits and most of the other trading forum thinks that we're all going to go down in a heap of garbage. They've been saying that since 2009. They've been saying that since Obama was elected, that the market and the U.S. economy was going to go nuts. And where's the U.S. economy? Straight line up. The market's up 600%. Oh, Federal Reserve is a bunch of like, oh, they're just flying. Even Rick Santelli, like, oh, QE, it's going to kill the U.S. economy. Yeah, hello. They're now all begging for QE, quantitative easing. Trump is like bad-mouthing Powell. I hate it. Like, he even did that the other day. Really hate that part of Donald. Really. I'm freaking, seriously, I still have the number of his CFO. Call him and stop doing that. It's not just rude, it's obnoxious. It's stupid. Always pissing on Powell for what? Oh, give us negative rates. Oh, give me the money. You heard that, guys? You guys heard that, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a turnoff.
It's a turnoff. It's so fucking asinine. It's not even funny. You can respect somebody for what they're doing. I think he's a great president. I think he's great for the country. Oh, give me the money. Like, how freaking stupid is that? Negative interest rates? You guys would be buying like diapers at a Costco till the point that Costco would run out of diapers. In fact, I'd buy Costco stock at that point. Negative interest rate. Give me the money. You know what negative interest rates mean? That means we're in so much shit that the country is done. That's what negative interest rates mean. But he's selling it to his base to the point which is like, I'm just like, what? is going on? Give me the money. All right, that part of Donald, I do not like. Do not like. It's almost like the other extreme version of the idiot Elizabeth Warren, who is actually very smart, like I said. You know, she got the mugs going like billionaires, tears, and the mug selling for 25 bucks. I'll tell you, she's one crack lady, I'm telling you. She's nuts. Anyway, forget that part. Donald, cut the China deal, win the next election, I'm happy. Stop being idiotic with Fed Chairman Powell. The Fed is our friend, not our enemy. Anyway, it's going in the gap, all right? You want to make money? Just buy it December 20th. Let's look at Netflix, because I re-entered Netflix. And what's the story with this? One step at a time. One step at a time. Okay, what does that mean? It means we have a complex, again, picture here. It will be back and forth. It might pull back a little, but I do believe that the stock gets up to 308.84. Even if it goes to 301.32, which is the first neckline, we are going to make some serious money because it closed at 290. So with these type of stocks, you got to play step by step. 5 points, 10 points, take some profits. If it runs up more, fine, sit back. But I believe that Netflix has been clobbered from 300. I mean, what's this price here? And please listen carefully what I say, because I have been very right on Netflix overall. So Netflix has basically has a serious falling wedge. See these two lines? Seti, you see these two lines, right? Like this. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's called a very serious falling wedge. Listen to my videos and also set up the time so I can give you those complimentary sessions. I think you have one more left, but whichever the case, I want to help you out. So when you get this something like this, this is normally what happens. It's almost a 80% probability this is what's going to happen. Now it's going to happen, not going to happen in one day. It might take a couple of weeks, but generally speaking, Netflix has a good shot to go to 300, 320, 340. Don't have to believe me. Now, in the meantime, if the stock does break below 267, then the stock will retest 252, which is the ultimate low for Netflix, at least for the short term. This is your level that you're looking for, 300. Floor, 252. How many points? 50. We are traders. We trade ranges. We are going to trade the range up to 300. Anything else can happen? Of course. An analyst upgrade, Netflix, is a loved or hated stock, all kinds of stuff. Let's take a look at Tiffany. I believe Tiffany's will be bought out. Why? Because the European companies like Louis Vuitton, Bulgari, all this, that they own Bulgari, all these high-end, super expensive. And if some of you have bought some for your spouses, your boyfriends, or your dogs, if you're that rich, you know what it's all about. Okay, Tiffany's is a name brand which people from here to India to Zimbabwe to Bangladesh to Thailand, everyone knows. Tiffany. Like you said, Tiffany, buy a small thing from Tiffany, doesn't cost you a fortune. And the girl, or I don't know, whoever you're dating, I'm straight, so the woman that you're dating, they were like, wow, thank you so much. Tiffany, in my opinion, will get bought out. You have to keep on giving it some time. Okay? So what I like about it from a technical standpoint, which I've shown many times, but explaining right now, I hope that I told you guys to buy Tiffany at 90. I had no idea. We bought Tiffany around here. We're still slightly up. What is this pattern? What's that pattern, guys? Come on, I don't have all night.
Looks like a flag to me.
It's a friggin' bull flag. This is why I'm bullish on Tiffany. If Tiffany broke below 115, then I know that the deal is off. But it is still like this. We'd have traded Tiffany before, but I wasn't there at 90. We have traded Tiffany in previous earnings things, and we have won. This is bullish. So this things cost like $3. So why can't you buy a couple and just leave it alone for December, for January? I have December 20s, because I believe the deal is going to get done before the calendar year end, before the year ends. Do you know why? What's important about December, guys? I'm asking a common sense question to all of you. What is great about Tiffany's in December?
Christmas,
Frank
baby.
has to buy me my Christmas gift.
Thank you. Thank you. People love going there, and most of the
My
Wall Street
expensive Christmas gift.
yes, and most of the Wall Street big shots are they have girlfriends. They cheat on their wives, which I never did. Okay, so they like to go buy something expensive from Tiffany's or Louis Vuitton or something, and say, "Honey, love you for the holidays," and they give the same gift to their girlfriends. What we call in New York, Goombas. All right. So that's the way it goes. The same thing the Japanese do. Most Japanese men over the age of 50 have a mistress on the side, and their wives accept it. Do you know it's part of their culture? I know it. I had a Japanese girlfriend back in college. It's just a norm. Here, it's the same thing, except they don't tell their wives. All right? So Tiffany's, in my opinion, is going to get bought out by December. So here is another little play that we can sit on. What's the other one that I like from a buyout standpoint? Walgreens. Geez, Walgreens. My pharmacist. They're still sending me texts. Frank, gotta pick up your prescription. I'm like, what prescription am I looking at? Some skin cream to make me look prettier, like, whatever. Walgreens is gonna get bought out. It's gonna be the biggest private leverage deal, but it'll happen. Now, why do I think it's gonna happen from the technical standpoint? Quite simple. Another bull flag that is not breaking. So I'm not asking for it to go to like 85. I'm simply saying it's a bull flag. It's been to 65. I believe the buyout's going to happen between 70 and 75. It can happen any day now. So why not buy a few calls and leave it in there? This is what we call pattern completion. Remember, technicals precede fundamentals. You know what that means? Technicals will show you signals before the actual news comes out. What's the other one that I like a lot? Dominic knows.
PCG?
Yeah,
Oh,
PCG
trade desk.
I like,
Trade
yeah.
desk. Trade desk.
Trade desk, okay. So let me just take these lines out. Why do I like this company? Actually, I did a lot of research on this company, like the old days, Dominic, okay? Did a lot of research. I made a lot of money on this company when it went up before. This was early on this year. It just went nuts, okay? And like, wow. It's actually a great member of ours who's still a member, Brian, who mentioned it to me. I said, what is this company, Trade Desk? He said, it's programmatic trading. They are the software that powers Google's advertising revenues. I'm like, wow, that's where the biggest revenues come from. Now they're working with Amazon. Have you heard about Trade Desk on CNBC? Any of you? Seti? Seti, are you there?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Trade Desk, this company on CNBC or anywhere else?
Not much. I just
Exactly.
heard it in the
Exactly.
from
You know
you.
what that means? Means great things. That means most people don't know about it. Remember one thing about trading. The less people know about a stock and the stock has great fundamentals and is moving higher, the better of money you'll make. More people know about a stock like Roku and this and that, the chances are you're going to lose money in them unless you follow my charts because everybody knows about it. Do you understand that concept, Seti?
Yeah. So we need to find some rare stocks.
Seti, stop sounding so dumb, okay? You're a smart guy. What I'm trying to say is you have to, when we're showing these things and the media is not talking about it, that means you have more opportunities. You make a lot of money because by the time they start talking about it, it's already going to be up there. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I meant, my friend. All right. So, so that's it. So look at this chart. The stock fell apart like crazy, went to 186 on November 8th, and it reversed. I told you guys to buy it. Boom, it went up. So why do you think that happened? People are like, oh my God, the stock fell from the day before. It was 196 and it went down to 186. It's all over. No. Remember, the last thing I'll say, and I'm going to close this session up. The hedge funds play a lot of games. If you don't know what hedge funds are, Google them. They're a bunch of big time overall slime bags. They are day trading the market like nobody's business. And hedge funds are all about making profits at the cost of the American investor. They are not there to help the American investor. We are in the business of beating the hedge funds before they act. Most of you are victims of losses you made in the market because of hedge fund manipulation. If you don't know what a hedge fund is, Google it. I'm not here to explain it to you. I'm not saying they're the enemies of the state, but they are not somebody who's going to help you. That's why when you see after hours a stock down $10 and then over the next 2 days it goes up $10, you know they are the ones running the program. So wake up, learn, or else die in training. This is so bullish. I believe the stock is going to go to 240. I believe the stock is going to go to 250. Focus on the charts, not my words on my voice. If you don't understand what is happening here, even though if it come down a few bucks here and there, this is a serious company. Forget the serious company part. All I'm telling you is the stock has a good shot to go to 240. That's it, guys. Futures are up 12, so let's take a look at the futures before we go to bed. Thank you for coming in. Always a pleasure. This is what happened after the market closed. This is the chart that I showed you guys today. If you don't look at my charts and don't want to make friends with them, well, the market's going to kill you. Okay? That's all. Don't ask you to be a genius on it, but honestly, you don't want to look at charts when you trade and the charts that I put out and then look at your own chart. You're going to lose money in the market. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, guys. Okay? New Jersey, New York are the highest taxed, most expensive properties with taxes in the world. I live here. So if I'm affording it, then I'm doing something right. I don't like it, but I'm doing something right. So please, what I'm saying, listen. So this was the range that I showed you guys. So what happened at 7:30 this evening? The range broke out. Hello. Now we are here. So when you have gap up opens, and next week we're going to talk the next session on Wednesday, next Wednesday, a Sunday night, we're going to talk about some trading logistics, which is simple. You get a gap up open, you sell your profits. Sit back for 20 minutes, look at the market, look at my things, look at your own charts, then you try to go back in. If it's a swing chart, then don't worry about it. Look at this. The range is done. The range just broke up. What's the upper end of the range? Same thing, 3120. Any quick questions, Seti, Paul, Mike, Dominic, before I run?
I'm all good.
All right, Paul, Mike?
Good info, Frank.
No,
Thank you.
everything's fine.
Good, Mike, and we gotta get that Tiffany's gift. And Seti, two things you gotta do as a new trader. You're very smart. Don't let your brains let you down. Don't let your emotions let you down. Number one, go check out some of the great videos on the new member introductory video on Google YouTube, on my Clueless Say Trading, and then within a week or so, sign up for the advanced coaching sessions. If you don't have money, which if you, of course you have some money, but doesn't matter. I'll give you a break. Doesn't matter. I'm not here to make money off you on this thing. I want you to make some money so you can really stay as a member. All right. So take my offer like a real offer. All right. And that's it. But first, watch a couple of videos in there, and then sign up for the advanced coaching sessions, because those few bucks that you give me, honestly, with the other people, I have to sit with the sessions. To me, it's a lot of work. I take time off the early morning in the weekends. I'm just like, oh my God, I got to do a sessions. It's not the funnest thing unless I was charging people $200 an hour, which I will at some point. But I don't do that. On that note, listen, guys, God bless you all. You guys are the best. You keep my brains working. The markets are good. Not going to keep on going. We have to watch out for the risk. But certain stocks, I'm telling you guys, are going to rip. So we're good. We're good for now. We're good for now till Christmas. And that's what I think, which I've explained. We're good for now till Christmas. Not every day the markets are going to go up, but in general, the markets will go higher than what we all believe. God bless you all.